All right, good evening. I'd like to call to order the Town of Carver Capital Outlay Committee. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I'd like to start off by saying thank you to Area 58 for recording tonight and also for setting us up a Zoom call for John Potter to be able to call in tonight. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, but I can hear you guys, but it's very low.
Okay,
You turn it.
so we just talk loud? Are the mic's not working?
I think the mics are working. You know, it's probably the air conditioning. You have to speak over the air conditioning.
Sorry, John, we'll talk loud tonight.
We're going to have roll call votes tonight, right?
Yes, yep. Okay, so first we'd like to start with the finance director or town administrator update.
Sure. I don't know if you want me to get into it right now, but I was going to go over review some of the articles that we talked about the last time. Do you want to wait further on the agenda? Or you want me to do it right now? It's up to you.
We could do it now. We could start.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't have a lot on our agenda tonight. It's really just to look at these articles.
You know, I think if you don't mind, I might move over to the table. It might make it a little bit easier for me.
Sure.
Something talks on the board. So it was my understanding, that's what we discussed before the annual town meeting. We had these, I want to say it's 10 outstanding capital articles.
Okay.
And the status of these articles. I think these are the real issue here. And let's look at 20.15.
Are these also in the packet that John has at home, or is this different?
I did send these to John.
Okay.
John, you see the spreadsheet has the 10 articles, the old capital articles? I know I sent it over to you today.
It has a balance of $623,707.
I've got three files, fiscal capital, 25 capital projects, and outstanding capital.
No, this is a different spreadsheet, John. It's
That's the most recent one I got today.
This has a date at the top that says as of June 4th, 2025. It's for prior year capital appropriation articles.
Prior year open.
It looks like we,
appropriation-
Yes.
Prior year appropriation summary,
Yes.
okay?
And then below that, a date of June 4th, 2025.
Yes, I got that.
Yeah.
Good, great.
So those are the 10 we had, right? Now,
Yeah,
Karen has done a little bit of research, and she does want to apologize. She had to go home. She wasn't feeling well today.
that's okay.
So she does want to apologize for that to the board. So what she did, she went through, because I think everybody was kind of in agreement, particularly on the top two, that these really didn't look like capital projects.
Yeah.
So John, this is a spreadsheet, has fiscal year, and then in parentheses, prior to fiscal year 2024, very difficult to read, capital project balances as of 7/8/25.
yeah, this is the same one we have in the packet, the last sheet.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Karen sent this to you,
She did.
yeah,
I forwarded it out.
previously, right?
Yeah.
So in there, what she did is there were multiple capital projects that really were not capital projects. Particularly the top two benefits one. See if I have my original list here.
So the first one I see is unemployment. Well, it's benefits, but it says from fiscal year 2018,
Correct,
unemployment, voted in 2017.
correct. So that one,
Okay,
go ahead, John, sorry.
I thought we talked about those before, and they shouldn't be articles, they should be like a reserve fund?
That's what Karen was going to research for us.
Yeah. So we did go back to the 2017 annual town meeting, and what they appear in is, it's Article 5, allocation of funds from fiscal year 2017 free cash. So they're actually not capital projects is what it
Okay.
comes
I
down to.
agree.
It's free.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I agree.
Yeah,
Me
so
too.
that was the first two.
Okay,
Well, that's good.
that is great.
Yeah, yeah. And then the next one down, it's listed here as fire, and then it's 2023, annual town meeting, 4/12/22, police and fire radio infrastructure. Again, in that same type of article, a free cash article, not a capital.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then the same for the O and M, 2021, sorry, it's just small print here. Annual town meeting, 6/29/20, field maintenance and operation supplies. Again, I think this is the one the board did identify also, not as really being a true capital project. It sounds more like it's maintenance. And it was from the 2020 annual town meeting, Article 3, again, that free cash article.
Okay.
It's in there. And then the last one, and I think the board was suspect of this one, is back from 2016, annual town meeting, 2015, human resources training. I didn't dig through to see where the original article came through, but in 2024, we actually used $30,000 of that to fund capital projects. So if you go in, so there's actually no money, though, I should say that there's $868.34, so we're recommending we close that one out.
For the,
Yeah, what?
Yeah, but HR resource training for a number, and we use it for capital?
Yes, Article 4, capital improvement budget. If you read the article, to see the town will vote, again, it's $965,000 from available free cash, Department of Revenue, and available capital balances, and it says Appendix E, and if you go to Appendix E, it identifies the 2016 Human Resources Training and Startup, $30,000.
and what did we use it for in capital?
Well, it's just bundling all that money together. There's a host of capital items here, of $1,260,000 worth of capital. So there's a list of them.
And can you just repeat that? We voted for it in 24 for 25, so this year? Or last year, the one that just ended?
Last year, June
Okay.
4th, 2024.
Well, that was us.
What did
Yeah, I
we,
don't remember.
what was the, what did we vote it for to be used on?
So it doesn't really identify the
There's a
30, the
list.
30 goes into a pool to, again, so there's free cash, certified by the Department of Revenue, the balances in Appendix E, and then solar revenue, $50,000. And that adds up to, again, the $1,260,000, and there's, maybe 15 capital projects here. So we just pool the money together.
I'm not remembering that at all.
Me either, that's why I'm trying
No,
to
I
figure
don't
it
at
out.
all.
But I do remember we did close quite a few older articles, so maybe this got lumped in.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
I remember there was some old articles that were being closed.
Oh, wait a minute, I think there was a closeout so
Well-
you're saying that in a particular year, there was something that I think the prior finance director brought to us and said, hey, these line items are dead, it equaled a number
Yeah,
that then got moved into next year's capital.
Yeah.
But if they're still sitting here, that means nobody did a journal entry to get them out of these accounts, because in theory, they were used.
Yeah, and
Right.
didn't, we met last month and Miss Weston was asking us to keep that money in there so that she could use it for a different reason.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think that's why we're a little confused.
Yeah, I think this is, if you ask what it was spent for, one of the things I can recall, at least with the select board, what they were looking for in the capital projects again from last year, there's a feasibility study for the old police fire station, EMS, and then COA.
Yeah.
At $50,000.
Yep.
And I remember we were scrambling to find money to
Yep.
fund that.
That's what I thought they would say, yeah.
So,
And that-
again, it's not really identified directly,
Right.
but I still remember we were looking for money for that.
Yeah, I do remember that. I just couldn't remember this.
Okay, so anyways, there's only $868.34 remaining, and we would like,
Correct. We might-
recommend to close?
Yeah,
Okay.
close it. So what
And
that?
then,
ahead.
before we move on past that, Elaine Weston did have some consultants she wanted to use for this money. Will she be able to put that through operating?
She will have to find another source.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
And then there's only one more in the sheet, which is the perpetual care for the cemetery, which looks like is in a deficit for $2,852. Will there be a transfer to clean that up?
I will have to ask Karen. I don't really.
Thanks, Glenn.
So that leaves me with 5 capital projects, outstanding capital projects.
Okay.
Right? That's what so I just.
Okay.
That's all I did.
It's
So
making
many
sense.
sheets. It is.
It is
Thank
making
you.
sense.
I had to walk through it step by step,
Yeah.
trust me on this one.
No, thank you. Because we didn't want to make any recommendations on things that weren't capital. So I'm very happy we were able to do that.
It didn't sound like capital, no, I think we're all suspicious right from the start.
Yeah, no, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
So John, this one I sent out, it has fiscal year, and again in parentheses, prior to fiscal year '24, capital project balances as of 7/16/25. And really,
That was the same email you sent this one out on?
yes, yeah, there should have been 3 attachments in there. I think this one was an actual Excel spreadsheet. And the other 2 were PDFs. And all I did, again, took those original 10 projects, we've eliminated 5, we have 5 left.
It totals $217,201.
So I'm seeing the Excel spreadsheet, 1, 2, 3, 4, $217,000, yep?
Yes.
Okay.
So the very first one on the elections, right? Election tabulators. Karen has a note here. Invoice will be paid 7/10/25 and was submitted as part of the warrant. 5 tablets. So it sounds like that money has been spent.
Okay.
But I guess one of the bigger questions is, it was for fiscal year '21, it's now fiscal '26. So what happened in 5 years?
I don't have an answer for that one, John. I don't know. I have to find out from the town clerk.
We could ask Kara to come to one if you want, John. I do vaguely remember her through the last few budget seasons saying she was holding off in case technology had changed and if whether or not they were opening or closing a precinct. I don't know if anyone else remembers that.
Yes, I do.
But I don't know, we could ask Kara to come if you want me to reach out to her or get an email from her.
It sounds like
Well,
she's
well,
already spent it.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn, the way this is, I guess, is going to work is whether this is capital, whether it's non-capital, all these old articles need to all go before the board so they can review and make really the final decisions and then look at capital outlays recommendations for all capital items. Is that correct?
That's how it would go.
Okay.
But again, so this one, it doesn't seem to be any funding left in it though.
So Glenn, I do have one question about this. So
Sure.
it says you said you're gonna pay it on July 10th, or it was paid on July 10th?
Correct.
But was it ordered on, before June 30th for last fiscal year?
I don't have that information from me. I have to,
That's okay, I'm just wondering.
yeah, that's a good question. All right, so then going to the IT, the next 2 are the IT, right? And I know we kind of bundled these together. I do have the POs that were sent out by Karen, correct? I did print them out though, just so that you'd have them. John,
Thank you.
it should have came to you in a separate email from Karen. POs for the
Thank you.
IT equipment.
Thanks for printing these too.
You're welcome. They're pretty hefty. The other thing I do have, and I do want to apologize, but when I look through my notes, John, I had sent this to you, but I'm not sure it ever went to the board. And this is the IT director's Gantt chart. And then, you've got a host of information in here. This all went out in April. I'll give this to you, just to remind you. And again, I want to apologize, because I didn't see an email to you, Beth.
That's
I
okay.
saw one to John, and I'm really sorry.
That's all right.
And who knows, it might be there, but I just didn't find it. So again, John, I had this from April 7th, and, I think you can see in there, the timeline on the Gantt chart. We're holding to that timeline right now, and the IT director's here, you can speak to it himself. But, we've been getting the best price we possibly can. John's been working on that a lot, trying to get the contractor to lower his price as low as they'll go, and then ordering the equipment we have here by July 2nd. So again, the PO has gone out, I think at the end of June. So we are within the same time frame that, again, this is developed in April. It's just a time frame to go through it. You can see the phases of work here. 7 different phases, and then the IT project timeline for implementation. So I think we're, again, I think we're on track for that. So that's the next 2 that I see. Is there any
Thank
questions?
you for providing this. I don't remember seeing it, but thank you.
Again, I want to apologize, Beth. I think that's my. I saw an email to John. I never saw an email to the board.
That's it.
And that's on me.
It happens. Thank you.
You can ask John. I mean, April 7th, I think, John, was the date I had.
Yeah, you probably did, but I just would have thought everybody got it, so I just.
Again, John, I'm going to apologize. I didn't see an email to you, Beth. I didn't see one.
Okay.
I
no,
looked through my
sorry.
records, I didn't find it.
I will add that those POs cover all of my capital money, all the way
Okay.
up to FY '26.
Okay. Oh,
It covers most of the capital money for FY '26 as a whole.
okay. And
if we don't act soon, we're gonna look at an increase of approximately $30,000 to $50,000 for this equipment
okay.
And tell them why.
because of
Of
tariffs.
tariffs.
And, when the tariffs hit, it's gonna be that, but if I have to cancel everything that I've done, my vendors aren't gonna, knuckle grind to get me prices anymore. They're just gonna walk away and say, that's it. And the worst part is the major vendor here is Dell, direct. So it's not like I can say, oh, well, I can't work with this vendor, I can go to a different vendor. I can't. I mean, I could go to HP or I could go to Lenovo, but we're not getting the same product.
So when you add up all the POs, were you still within your budget?
Yes,
For the
I'm
2
still
years.
within the capital
Okay.
budget with a little bit left over in the FY '26 capital.
Okay. How much was left over? Just curious.
I think we're at 20,
Okay.
if I remember correctly.
Sure.
So what we're saying is, at the end, we're gonna take that money and put it back into free cash.
Yes, when we
Well,
close
I
it out.
still
Wait,
have,
please,
I
please,
still
please.
have installation fees
Okay.
that haven't been,
So
that
it's a
aren't
cushion.
in any of those calculations yet, because I'm still actually trying to finalize the price on that. I've gone from the server install from a $22,000 quote, and I'm currently right now at $7,000. And I'm also on the firewall quote, we started at $14,000 and I'm down to $7,000 on that as well.
Okay.
So with that, once I finalize that whole piece, there's probably not gonna be much left.
Okay.
So just to be clear.
And like I said, that's for current
Pricing.
capital.
Okay.
So just to be clear, you've now spent the fiscal year 2018, which was about approximately 120,000.
Correct.
And then the 2023, which was approximately 50,000.
Correct.
And then most of what we granted this year.
Yep, and
Okay.
there was one from 25 as well, which
Okay.
was a $33,000, 33 and change.
Okay.
That is also spent.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, that's good that you kept the cushion.
You gotta leave a little bit.
And when you're spending it would be better to close out these older years as you're
Yes,
going, like
and
don't
that's-
apply to the new year.
That's exactly
Okay.
how I've done that. I closed out the old years first and just rolled down. So on the very last PO, which is Dell laptops and desktops for the police station, that actually rolls over into the FY '26 to make that whole.
Makes sense.
John, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I mean, well, I appreciate all the work, and I've seen this, I've looked at the detail, but I still go back to, this is not what the money was appropriated for, right? In 2018, there's 199,000, I think we spent 93. Nope, try it again. We had 199 originally voted. In 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, we spent $74,000, leaving 119. And now we want to take a 2018 vote by town meeting and taxpayers and use it for a worthy project in 2026. So my feeling is this should still, if we're going to have a special town meeting, I think that it should go back to free cash and then be brought back as a presentation at town meeting on equipment that we need so that taxpayers or town meeting members are voting on it, not using something that's 8 years old.
I argue with you on that, John, because it's gonna cost the town more money if we wait. A lot more money. Because now I have to go back through and do all of my quotes again. And then we're gonna have tariffs added to that. And like I said, I may not be able to get them to grind their prices down because I worked their tails off to configure this system and get that done. And this stuff was originally set for town-wide upgrades, and this equipment covers police, fire, EMS, the library, the town hall, and counseling on aging.
It's all upgrades. It's
This
same
is
wording.
all upgrades to bring our systems up to
Right.
current standards and get rid of the older stuff.
Right.
And it is town-wide, truly.
Really.
All right, well, I hear you, and I disagree with the use of funds from a standpoint of what they were voted on at town meeting. It's a worthy project, yes. I understand it could be a hit from tariffs, but I just feel that it should go back to town meeting for a vote.
So John, I just want to clarify, if we recommend that it needs to go back to town meeting for the vote, does that mean his POs just sort of stand, they won't pay them in accounting? I'm just wondering, because he's got a PO
I
outstanding.
think that would be a Karen question, but
Okay.
yeah, I think that, yeah, they would be on hold.
Okay, I'm just wondering, because he's reached out to the vendors and
Yeah,
received POs.
yeah, that's a good question though, Beth.
Do we know specifically what the warrant read in 2018?
I know the summary there. Let's see.
Actually, I guess it would be 2017 since it was fiscal year 2018.
I think the warrant's typically kind of vague, and you have to pull the backup that's not in the warrant to get the real details.
Okay.
I may have it if
Actually,
at home.
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have it in front of me.
I save all of them at home in files. I could dig through if you guys to find the
It's
original
just, I
backup.
know just on the summary sheet, it just listed as town-wide tech upgrades. Now, whether that's how it's listed in the original warrant, I don't know.
Yeah, I was just curious if it like specifically said for town hall or for the police department or for,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And I'm gonna say no, because you can't move
Yeah.
it forward if it isn't,
So we
if it
used
was
to get
identified.
these packets, and they would have pictures or descriptions of everything they wanted to purchase and what they were going to look like, and then it would have a total. So it might have said the 199,000. However, I think typically in the
original.
warrant, yeah, but typically the warrant just published like
Right, just
townwide tech,
summarizes it,
yeah,
exactly.
summarize the whole
Yeah.
thing.
In the warrant article, it says townwide technology upgrades and recycling of equipment, purchase and install, and then it says school E-rate.
School
I
what?
mean, Yeah, because then the schools
They were
were
together.
handling all of the townwide tech,
That makes sense.
and there was a lot that wasn't done for the town, and
Yeah.
the town was kind of, ignored as a whole.
And wait,
across the board.
does it say
Yeah.
school E-rate?
Yeah, it was school E-rate was in parentheses. So some of it is school, some of it, because it was townwide, some of it was for the school and some of it was for the town.
Okay.
And it says townwide.
Yep, it says townwide technology upgrades and recycling equipment, purchases and installs, and then in parentheses, it says school E-rate, which is special pricings for school.
Okay. Yeah, a few years
And
back.
that,
we were
and that
saying
line
the
item is
school budget.
190,000.
Yeah, we definitely can't let this happen again. They need to be closed out every
Yeah,
year.
it won't
But
happen
there's
on my
good-
watch.
Yeah, this is just like ridiculous.
Yeah, and I
Over it.
think, we've talked about a little bit in-house here. I think what happened is, there was a transition, right, from IT being at the school to IT being both. If I understand it correctly, sometimes what happened here, and, John coming on board, is these were broken into different components, the school component and the town component. They actually spent the school component and the town component sat because there wasn't an IT director to initiate this. We were in transition. And I think that's exactly what happened.
I think COVID was in the middle of there
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure what we.
I think this
Exactly.
needs to be spent, honestly, by
Yeah.
this process.
Yes.
I
Okay.
will, not that this makes a difference, but I will add that I've only known about the 2018 money for a very short period of time. It was something that wasn't, that even when I first started, wasn't in my budget, wasn't available to me. And then when Karen came aboard and started straightening
Right.
everything out, she brought that to my attention.
And give you a chance to spend
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just, and it's taken this long for me to go through all of the process to make sure that we are 30B compliant for purchasing this equipment, which is much different than if you're working for, private sector and you go in and say, oh yeah, I want to purchase that, and then you just call the vendor and, cut a PO and purchase it and it's here. I have to, multiple quotes, I have to make sure that everything is right. And then part of the other process I had to do was to work with Dell and Focus Technologies to build the service system to fit the needs of the town from now. And, everything has a 5-year life cycle. But to build it so that if we had to go for 6 years, maybe 7, we could, possibly do that, depending upon how fast technology ramps up and the needs of the police department change and the needs of the fire department. For the needs for the town goes, this is a very small portion of what the town needs. It's gonna do a very small piece that needs to be on site, and I can't put it in the cloud. Because as of right now, the majority of the town's files are in the cloud.
I tend to agree with Mr. Cotter that we should allow the town to vote on it where it's from a warrant from 8 years ago. I think that the town should vote on it.
Okay, so we can, if you guys want, I mean, we still have more articles to go through, but at the end, we could either take a vote to move this up to the select board to, they would have to vote on this, or we could make a recommendation to move this up to the select board. And then whichever we end up doing, if it's okay with you, John, and the select board, you invite the capital outlay committee that night?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, if we make a recommendation or a vote tonight on any of these older projects, could the select board invite the capital outlay committee to come to the next meeting?
Well, yeah, I would think they would invite capital and then invite IT and anybody that's affected by an article, they'd invite them to come and speak.
Okay,
But my confusion is I've got like 5 sets of reports, the old report, the new report, now this new one. So should we just, we've been doing this now since March, should we just start making votes? And you want to start with this list of, 5 items or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go through all of them and then make one vote on everything, or if you want to vote individually.
I think we vote on all of them at once because they all have to go to the select board
Yeah.
anyways.
Is that okay with everybody else?
Okay, whatever you like.
All right, so we still have 3 more to go through, and then at the end, we can make the decision to recommend to the select board or not.
Yep.
Okay.
So I have 2 more. I
Okay.
combined the 2 IT.
Oh, okay,
Just, you know,
sorry.
I
John, thank you very much.
Yeah, I just combined the 2 IT. So next one I have, it's listed as school, annual town meeting, 4/24/18, ceiling tiles, $22,916. These are being purchased right now. I didn't get a chance to talk to Dave Seatontoff about this. I thought he was told by the board to purchase them before. I don't know why they haven't been purchased.
Right.
I will find out though. So, but that, as far as I know, that money is still sitting in the capital account, the $22,968.
Okay, Karen did send me a text today, an email today, just so you know, at 4:37. It says DPW has purchased ceiling tiles, which will be completed within the next couple of weeks. There were no additional updates, and that is the complete list of all the capital projects. So she's saying they have purchased
Oh, okay.
them.
And I know that this is, they were actually just purchasing I think there was some concern about this one too being a capital project. I think it is a capital project so they're purchasing the tiles because, it is somewhat maintenance, but I think the purchase of equipment is, and then they're installing it themselves, so, as opposed to being farmed out. And it's just the tiles they're purchasing. And then the last one I have is Town Buildings 2023, Town Hall exterior trim, siding and trim, sorry. This one is essentially complete. I believe there's only $1,266 and again, 68 cents in there. But as far as I know, that work is complete.
Yeah, according
one
to
should-
the old spreadsheet, it was complete, project closed.
Yeah, so I think that project we easily could close out.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Can I add one more piece of information?
Yes, absolutely.
This equipment, it needs to be replaced because it's old, and by not replacing it does open us up for a larger security footprint, which could potentially open us up for some sort of cyber attack / malware virus or ransomware, which in turn could cost the town thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Way more than what we're trying to spend here. Just so you're fully aware.
Thank you. No, I am.
You
I
know,
am
and
completely aware.
if for some reason somebody gets into the fire department, because they have email addresses, phone numbers, street addresses for just about every resident in the town, especially every resident that had a burning permit, that is PII information. And if somebody was to hack into that and manage to get that, the state decides a maximum of $10,000 per person to what they're going to fine us. That is state decided. And we don't tell them how what's been hacked. They just look at it and say, okay, you're gonna pay this. So that is also another aspect of this. I don't wanna throw security in here, but this is all a security problem.
I definitely
understand.
empathize with that whole situation and us needing it and all of the things. My issue is being somewhat new to the process. I don't know what any ramifications may come by using money that was allocated to something 8 years ago.
Is there, and that's a question to
That I just don't know.
As far
So
as I know, there are no ramifications.
Right.
In fact, one of the things with articles is the money stays there, as opposed to like the yearly budget, where, at the end of the year, call them turnbacks. If the money isn't utilized, it gets turned back into free cash.
best practice.
Capital articles stay on the books until they're either spent or closed out. I can tell you in the town of Bourne, there were multiple, we did this routinely, what we're doing right now.
okay.
Again, it really all goes back to how the original article was written and how broadly you can utilize that.
Okay.
If it said flooring, for room one in town hall, or you can spend it on flooring in room one in town hall. If it said town hall upgrades, then you can spend it on town hall upgrades.
Okay.
If it says town-wide upgrades, that gives you even more flexibility, but,
Right,
you know, it all depends on how it was written.
okay.
But the money stays, the money's like, well, the money's
Yeah,
still.
but Glenn, this came up when, in change of town managers, that one town manager was keeping these things open for 3, 4, 5 years. Some were used for the police station, and the chairman at the time, I think it was Mike Townsend, said, no more of this. And this goes back, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, that we were going to review them each year and clear them out each year once they're dead. So I know we being capital, I can go back 3 years, we've been telling people, you know, spend it or lose it, spend it or lose it. We told operations on that 21,000 back in April, go buy the tiles for inventory. And now we're sitting here, it's gonna be July, the tiles aren't bought yet. So I don't know where the breakdown in communication is.
Yeah, and John, we completely understand that it's needed. And it's not that we don't think it is, we just think that the town should be aware that it's from an old article, is what we've been talking about. And we have been talking about this for 3 or 4 years, for all the articles. You guys have any other questions?
I don't.
Okay, so, Glenn, this is it for older articles then?
Correct. As far as you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the board is not so concerned with the 24, the 25. I mean, I know there was a status update from Karen also on those. But you know, projects routinely go a year or two. You know,
Yes.
That's typical.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you may get your project start at the end of a year and it's gonna creep into the next year. So would the board like to make a vote on these articles or a recommendation to move this forward to select board?
Well, I think the chair of the select board is looking for us to vote
Vote,
on
okay.
either sending it back to free cash or not.
I want,
And our vote is a recommendation. We don't have the authority to do it. It's just, the vote is a recommendation.
And then it
But
goes to the select
it's
board?
up to you,
Goes to
anyone.
select board. All right, so why don't we make a vote to bring this to the select board?
I'll second
My-
that. Oh, sorry.
but my whole thing is with the IT, I personally would like to see them finish the project. And so I just want to make that
Okay.
clear.
Do you want to vote on each one individually?
If that's how we have to do it, then yes, because I want to just have my vote as the project.
Okay, so why don't we vote individually then on each project?
Okay.
Just some-
Okay, I guess I'll start with the first one. Would anyone like to vote to transfer $24,000 back to free cash for a 2021 ATM article to replace election tabulars?
Jackie Lake, aye?
Do we need a second first?
Oh, yes.
I just want to be clear, by putting it back into free cash,
Yeah.
if she's already purchased them, what does that do? Does that cancel her PO?
Because they're saying
Yeah, I mean,
it's
the way-
zero.
And Glenn, correct me if I'm wrong, we can make someone makes if you want to make a vote on 5 of these, the motion can be made. If it's not seconded, we're not voting on it. It can be
Correct.
seconded, and then we could all vote to keep it. So it's up to
So-
individual members to vote however they like.
So you need a motion, a second, and then a majority of the board, right?
Yeah.
In this case, you're gonna have to 3.
Yeah.
But I would say, I will need to check with Karen to see about the funding.
Because that's the
again-
problem is all 4 of these line items have POs out on them right now.
Correct.
So if
Yeah.
we vote to send it back to free cash, then they lose these items.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it has to go to the select board to make the final vote, and then the select board makes a vote, but then it has to go to town meeting. And town meeting could just turn around and say no to everything. We're gonna keep everything the way it is.
And town meeting's not until October 7th?
Correct, October 7th.
can you just see one more time on those tablets? You said the check's being cut July 10th, or the PO was opened July 10th?
Yeah, so I'll just, again, these are just the notes that I have. It says invoice will be paid on July 10th, 2025, and was submitted as part of the warrant. So I don't know the status of the check. I don't know. I mean, there's a possibility that there isn't
Been
24,000.
paid already?
I will add that I have some of that equipment in my office currently,
Okay.
so that means I have to pay a restocking fee to send it back. If they'll take it back.
All right, so. Do you want to take each one individually still?
I didn't at all, so.
Okay, you want to take them all as a whole?
Yeah.
The only thing is we do have a motion on the floor,
You have a
right?
motion, yeah?
We have a motion, I don't think it was seconded, so I think it dies.
So it's not seconded.
No, it's not.
seconded. Right, if it's not seconded, it
Aye, but
dies.
that doesn't mean that.
Okay, well, let it die for right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Is
fine.
that okay? We're gonna let that one die?
Yeah.
Okay, so would we prefer to, so there, I mean, this is iffy. Some of these may be paid, and we
Yeah.
are promised on POs on some of these, and he's got equipment in his office.
I don't feel comfortable voting a yes on that for sure. But whatever.
John, do you have any recommendations from the select board?
From the select board, no, the select board's not gonna make a recommendation until they hear what we say.
Okay,
And then they're gonna listen to, you know, the finance director, the IT, anybody who's been affected, and then they'll make their final recommendation.
my thought is we close we definitely make the recommendation on the last one for the $1,200. But I do think we may be committed now to the first 4 projects. Maybe not the ceiling tiles, you think that's completely been,
Well, you had the updated from Karen, that's
Yeah,
even
email.
that's
more
it.
recent than I have.
DPW has purchased ceiling tiles to be completed within the next couple of weeks, is what she emailed me.
That doesn't tell us if it's been paid on.
So I kind of think we may be, do we need Karen to tell us these
I really
things?
would. It's the legal status of the PO, which does get tricky.
John, could we recommend to have a joint meeting with the select board and have Karen there?
You know what, it's
I don't know.
frustrating, because we've been having these meetings since March, and no one shows, we don't get the information we need, and now we're looking to extend it again, so, I don't know. The select board is just asking us
Yeah.
to make a recommendation on these capital items. And all our questions should have been answered by now, and they're not, so.
I would prefer to bring this to the select board, even for them to just be aware of what's been going on. However, I do feel as if the first 4 projects, we may already be committed to,
Yeah.
that they've been committed in the last month, maybe.
Yes, well, that's the other part that's frustrating to me, is that we were sitting here on June 4th, I believe was the date, and none of these had had any action on them. And now all of a sudden, they all have POs and the money's spent.
Right.
And I find,
That's annoying.
that's the part that I am having so much trouble with. Is now we're gonna have to vote to either allow it the way it has just been done, as in almost like ask for forgiveness instead of permission, or send it to the select board, then send it to town meeting, and then it's October 7th, and we have got all these open POs, and now we've got, you know, it just feels weird,
It's
the
frustrating.
way this happened.
When back in April, we said, please spend the money, and
Yeah.
it wasn't.
I'd be more than happy to give every one of the members of the capital outlay committee the entire list of all of my POs going back before April, not my POs, my quotes going back before April that I've been working on
Yeah.
for this long to try to
Not just you, though.
finalize all
Yeah.
this, no, I'm just, this wasn't, like, just all of a sudden, yeah, let's do this. I've been working on this for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think that this is directed- This isn't direct, this comment isn't directed to you, you just
No,
happen to be in the room.
I have the backup data.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you so choose to want it.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, with IT, he definitely went through, he did the Gantt chart, he did the schedule, he has the whole thing, and again, I know I sent that to John and not the entire board, I apologize for that again, on April 7th, so he, and again, it's just work goes behind that with the elections, and then on the ceiling tiles, I don't know the process behind that right now, I don't have that detail
Yeah.
to share with you.
Yeah, and I know that they need the ceiling tiles
Yes.
and the tablets, but we have brought up the tablets, just so you know, every year of the last
Every
few
year.
years. And we did speak with, I think, Dave, in January, in one of
Correct,
our
I remember
meetings
that
about,
conversation, I was at that meeting.
Yeah, right here in that small
April, but
room.
It's January.
It was
And I
January.
believe, like, we said at the time, like, this should actually be under O&M, and,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have a choice here. Make the vote to bring this up as a recommendation to the select board or not?
I'm so conflicted.
Right now, I'm not conflicted. I know what my answer would be, except for just to close out the bottom one. But, and keep the other three, honestly.
So do we want to make a recommendation that we bring this to the select board, but our recommendation is that we still move forward with the purchase of the first four, but make them aware of the time frame to purchase these
Yeah.
and to close the last one? Which the last one is the siding and trim for $1,266.
And to note that at the end of fiscal, this will be closed out.
Does anybody want to make a motion for that?
I will make that motion. I'm strong in my conviction on it, so.
Does anybody want to second it? I could let this one die too. Come up with another one?
So, what we're voting is to send it to the select board
With our
with our recommendation to close these out.
No,
No.
to close out the fifth one, but to let them be aware of what is happening with the first four.
To close
Oh, well
out
then,
at end
I'll
of fiscal.
second to close out that fifth one of $1,266.63.
And then to just make sure that they're aware of what is going on with the first four.
To close out at the end of fiscal.
Yes.
Then no, I do not second that, because I would
Okay.
like these four to go to the select board
Okay, so that's.
with our recommendation.
Okay. All right, so let's let that
So
one
let it
die
die.
too.
Okay?
All right,
Okay.
two have died. Would somebody like to make another motion? Jen, would you like to make that motion?
I'd like to make a motion to send the 2021 ATM replace electronic tabulators, the 2018 townwide upgrades, the 2023 townwide upgrades, and the 2019 ceiling tiles to the select board
Okay.
for review and approval
Okay.
as they see.
Does anyone second that?
Well, I just have a question. I guess I'll second it for purpose of discussion.
Okay.
The purpose of discussion is that the select board is asking us for a vote.
Yeah.
You could turn around and say, I'm okay with the 24, I'm okay with the 119, I don't like the 22, whatever the equation is, can be made to the select board, and the select board can decide whether they want to keep it or not. So, but I understand what we're saying is that people seem to be conflicted because we don't have the financial information that we asked for on some of these items. You don't know what the town's obligated to from a PO and a spending thing.
Yeah.
So since, are we only talking that on tonight? First of all, I think the 1,200 is a non-issue, that should just be ended, that should just be, removed, because
Yeah.
it's, if it needs to be spent, it should be spent out of operating time. But, are these the only 5 items that we would want the select board to vote on, or are there more we're gonna go into after this?
No, this
No,
is all
These are
about,
the 5, yeah, these are
Yeah.
the 5 outstanding. I mean, if there's one benefit to the board, I could say, at the end of this process, you will have a clean slate.
Right.
I know these have been sitting out there for a while now, was the old one, 2018? So you will have a clean slate, we'll be on 24 and 25, and we should be in a normal process, of working on capital projects.
So if this board doesn't feel comfortable, you can obviously like to recommend to the select board that we get put on as an agenda item, and we will sit there, we'll listen to whatever further information we need, and then the capital outlay can vote, and then the select board can vote, if that's what the board feels comfortable with.
That's what I'm comfortable with. That's where I was trying to get with everything I was saying. He just said it better than me.
okay. Do we also want to bring up to the select board about the prior year open appropriations that ended up not being capital, that were listed as capital before, so that they
Yes,
are aware?
I think the select board has to look at them all.
Okay,
But we don't have anything to do with the other ones
No.
because they're not us, so.
Correct.
all right, Jen, would you like to make a motion for what you just
We have
said?
a motion and a second.
Oh, sorry, hold on.
That's right, we have a motion and a second. John seconded for discussion. All right, I don't
I
remember.
set for discussion, so what's the original motion?
To bring 1 through 4.
Yeah, to bring 1 through 4 to the select board for both boards to vote on.
Oh,
Okay, so
that's
the
different.
motion
That's
we-
different.
And I seconded for purpose of discussion.
That's
So
different.
now-
Should we make a vote on that
No,
and then
we
bring the
just-
next one?
Let me process that one. Hold on. I kind of like that a little more. I don't know.
So you have a motion and a second.
We do.
We have to do roll call vote.
It has to be a
Oh, you
roll
do?
call.
Yes,
vote
yeah, you
because
do.
I'm on
You do.
TV.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
good catch.
through the chair, if you don't mind, you can
Yes.
just turn around and say, all those in favor of sending Articles 1 through 4 to the select board to send to for a joint meeting with the select board, say yes.
Okay, so roll call vote for Articles 1 through 4 to be sent to the select board.
Jen Cullum,
Beth Sulgar, aye.
Jackie Lake, aye.
Well, John Potter, no, because I'm ready to vote on it right now.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
talk to the chair. The next meeting of the select board is August 5th.
Okay,
All right, we'll see if we can get you on a joint meeting for that, if that works for you guys.
perfect. Do we need to make any type of a vote on the last one?
I think you
Number
should.
5.
I think you should. I mean, it seems like it's unanimous, so why not vote it and then the select board know exactly,
Okay,
I don't see this one being controversial at all.
I'll make a motion to close out the town hall exterior siding and trim from town meeting of 22, fiscal year 23.
okay. Motion made and second. All those in favor?
We have to do Jackie
You
Lake,
do.
aye.
Okay. Elizabeth Sulgar, aye.
Oh, Jen Cullum,
John Potter, aye.
Okay. 4-0. Thank you, guys. This was a tough one, and it's been dragging on for almost the whole year. Thank you.
It's still not finalized.
No. All right, so tentative, we will plan on attending the August 5th,
Yeah.
August 5th.
select board meeting. Okay. John, thank you so much for coming tonight. It was very helpful.
Thanks for listening.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I did not bring the minutes, so we will, the minutes from last time, so we'll do those at our next meeting. We made the vote. Do we have any public comment tonight? I know we have a few people here.
Step
No?
aside.
No? Okay. Is there any topics anyone would like to bring up?
Not me.
Nope.
No? Okay. So our next meeting will be with the select board, and then from there, if you guys want, we could decide to have another summer meeting or not.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we need another one until the budget season starts
Yeah,
up.
please.
Okay.
This should be fine.
All right. Any committee member comments?
Nope.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion made and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Jackie Lake Eye.
Jen Cullum, aye.
Beth Salger, aye.
John Carter says aye.
Okay. All right. The ayes have it, so have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.